And here we go again. I made it to Spain. Since the highway is way too boring, I didn't film anything of it. But that was no indicator for the time I spent in this area. I wanted to improve my off-road skills, which did not exist at all at this point, so I took part in a small motorcycle course. This was supposed to basically take away my fear of unpaved roads and show me that it is generally possible to ride over gravel, mud and sand. Afterwards, I didn't want to stop immediately and wait until I had to go off-road again. I tried some unpaved trails outside of a created off-road area where no baby heads are lying around in tricky corners. Lucky me, in Spain you don't have to look far to find some off-road trails. I started with some simple, easy, unpaved roads and tried to build up from there. With an enormous speed, as you can tell, I made my first off-road downhill corners without falling. Slowly the difficulty increased. Thin-layered gravel switched to deeper one, I handled some bigger stones and even some slippery sandy bits. Let's rate 3 of them. First, the most fun I had on these bumps. I had to ride back there 2 more times afterwards just to get all the joy out of it for me. I also tested a new suspension setup here. Second, the most educational part. After being able to soak up these amazing views from up a hill, I tried to film that new suspension. I put the camera in the best possible position the bike has to offer and rode down a gravel hill. Something irritated the chassis, which, combined with anxiety that immediately kicked in, caused a fall in the corner.
Oopsie!
My crash bars did a nice job, but unfortunately the original gear lever does not come with a folding tip. Being in the middle of nowhere, someone had to get creative to find a temporary solution. Gladly, I was able to move on, and I made use out of the solution until I found a spare part with a folding tip that fits to the bike. I don't feel like hitting my motorcycle parts with a stone another time. Third, the most nerve-wracking bit was probably crossing this dry waterbed. It took me a few seconds of just breathing before having all the courage to cross it. I wanted to be sure I'm settled in order to not hit the brakes heavily and be concentrated enough to avoid the bigger stones. I felt my heartbeat in my throat, but this is actually what it looks like when not sitting on the bike. Getting back home from these off-road trails was also a fun part. The official road went through this archway, where even I had to crouch in order to get through. It was followed by this narrow, dark tunnel. Eventually, I hit the normal streets again, and I went to find a place to wash off the dust off my bike and prepare for the next ride. In between, I had a short stay in Bilbao and San Sebastian. To get there, I had to take the highway through Aragon, an extremely windy area of Spain. Gusts, more than 110 kilometers per hour or 55 knots, and lots of rain are the reasons I didn't film that. Although I didn't enjoy the ride, the area was really impressive. If you saw one of my other videos, you know I'm into hiking a lot. Spain doesn't disappoint. From amazing vistas to technical trails, where even my German friends had to say,
Ja, ist einiges einfacher. It feels like everyone has seen Barcelona already but me, so I really wanted to go there, although it was only one day. I was lucky and traffic was quite calm for Barcelona that day. Trying to get to a petrol station as well as finding a parking spot made me ride several streets before I was able to walk the Gothic Quarter and La Rambla, see the cathedral, Park Güell and the Sagrada Familia Basilica with its never-ending construction. I have to admit, one of the highlights on that day was the way back to Tarragona, taking the C31. This added an hour to my ride, but I suppose that kind of riding is one of the best you can get when you're almost in process to leave the country. But I'm sure the next adventure will come. See you soon.